In previous video we have seen about the different topic of chapter number 8. In that we cover introduction part, distance and displacement, uniform and the non-uniform motion, speed, velocity, accelerated and deaccelerated motion, equation of motion. From equation of the motion I think it's left. So in this video we will move further from the equation of the motion, and then later on we will see about the graphical representation of motion and uniform circular motion. So in all the previous video we have seen about the definition rest and motion. Rest means a body when it is do not change its position respect to the reference point, then we consider it as a rest. And motion means if the body is change their position according to the time, or you can say according to the reference point, then we consider it as a motion. And the motion is divided basically in three types: circular motion, linear motion and oscillatory motion. Then after we have seen about the scalar quantity and the vector quantity. It's a type of the physical quantity. Scalar means a quantity which requires a magnitude but do not require any direction. So that kind of quantity we consider as a scalar quantity, whereas a vector quantity means does require both the things, magnitude and the direction. Then after we have seen about the distance and the displacement. What is the difference between it? That we have seen. Distance, in that we cover count the all the pathway, means the total pathway, whereas in displacement we consider the shortest pathway, means the we consider only the final velocity, or you can say the final point and the initial point. So the distance is a scalar quantity, whereas the displacement is a vector. Whereas the displacement is a positive, negative or zero, while the distance we get only positive, can't be zero or negative. And distance can be equal to the displacement, but the displacement can be equal to the distance or it's lesser than the distance. And we have also seen the some of the example related to distance and the displacement. Later on we have seen about the uniform and the non-uniform motion. In that, uniform motion means if the body travels equal distance in equal interval of time, then we consider it as a uniform motion. And non-uniform motion means if the body will travel unequal distance in equal interval time, then we consider it as a non-uniform. And the non-uniform motion is further divided into the two types: accelerated motion and the deaccelerated motion. In accelerated motion means the motion of the body increase with the time, whereas in deaccelerated motion body is decrease with the time, means the motion of the body is decreased with the time. Then after we see the another physical quantity, it's about the speed. Speed means the measurement of the distance which is traveled by the body per unit time, called the speed, and the SI unit of the speed is a meter per second. And for the uneven value of the speed, we take the average of the speed, and the formula of average speed is the total distance traveled by the body divided by total time taken. Then after we see the conversion factor, means how can we convert the kilometer hour into the meter per second. And then later on we have seen the example of the speed or average speed. Later on we have seen about the velocity, means other physical quantity which is depend on the displacement. So it is also a vector quantity. And for non-uniform motion or uneven motion, also we count the average velocity. In that we have to count the initial velocity and the final velocity divided by 2. And according to that we have seen the some of the example. Now let's see the acceleration. Acceleration is the seen in non-uniform motion, and it can be defined as the rate of change in velocity per time. So the acceleration formula is equal to v minus u divided by t, whereas the v is equal to final velocity and the u means the initial velocity and t means the time. And the retardation whereas the acceleration we get the positive value, whereas in retardation, or you can say the deacceleration, we get the negative value, because in this kind of condition the motion is decreased, means the body's motion during the decrease in velocity with time. So we get the negative value. Now let's see the some of the example in that some of the value is given that a car speed increase from the 40 to 60 kilometer per hour in 5 seconds, then the calculate the acceleration of the car. Here the unit is given in a kilometer per hour. So first of all we have to convert it into the meter per second. So here u means the initial velocity. Here you can see the initial velocity is a 40 kilometer per hour. So we have to convert it into the meter into the second. Then we get the value 11.11 meter per second, whereas the final velocity is a 60 kilometer. So again we have to convert this 60 kilometer per hour into the meter per second. So 60 into 5 divided by 18, so we get the 150 divided by 9. So answer means the v in meter per second is a 16.66. As we know the formula of the acceleration formula is equal to a is equal to v minus u divided by t. Here the v value, that is of 16.66, minus u value means the initial velocity is 11.11 meter per second. So the 5.55 divided by 5. So we get the answer 1.11 meter per second. So from this example number 2, it's a remain for the explanation. So in this video we will start from example number 2. So let's start. The example number 2, a car traveling with a speed of 20 km per hour comes into the rest in a 0.5 hours. What will be the value of retardation? Means here the v final velocity is become a 0. Why become a 0? Because here you can see a car is traveling with the speed. In the u means at the initial velocity, it contains the 20 km per hour. When the object or any body which is come into the rest position, at that time its velocity is become a 0. So here you can see, here we can consider u as the initial velocity. It is a 20 km per hour. And then after 0.5 hours is become a rest in position, means it become a stop. So in the final velocity we have to consider a 0 km per hour. So the question is, what will the value of its retardation? So we have to find out here the retardation acceleration. As we see in the previous one, in the retardation motion or retardation acceleration, we get the answer in negative way. So let's start this solution. V, as I explain you, here we have to consider V 0 km per hour because a car is traveling with a speed 20 km per hour, and then after it is come into the rest, means its final velocity is become a 0. And the second, that is of u, means the initial velocity. Initial velocity is given, that is of 20 km per hour, and the time is given, that is of 0.5 hours. So as we have a formula of retardation acceleration, a dash is equal to v minus u divided by t. So here we have a v 0 and the u is equal to 20, and the time taken, that is of 0.5 hours. So minus 200 minus divided by 5. So is equal to minus 40 km per hour. This minus sign is denoted that here the retardation acceleration is occur. Let's see the one more time. Example number 2, a car traveling with a speed of 20 km per hour. When it comes into the rest in a 0.5 hours, what will the value of the retardation? Means here we have to find out the acceleration value. The v is equal to 0. Why we consider v is equal to 0? Because here the body, means the car is travel from 22 and then after it become a stop, or means it become a rest in condition. So in that kind of condition we have to take v as a 0. Then after the u, that is of a 20 km per hour, and the t that is a 0.5 hours, means the time taken for the changing of this velocity. As we have the formula of retardation A is equal to V minus U divided by T. So here we consider V as equal to 0 and the U is equal to 20 divided by 0.5 hours. So the value we can get, that is of minus 40 kilometer per hour. Why this minus sign is indicate that this acceleration is form of a retardation acceleration. Means in this condition the initial velocity is more than the final velocity. Here you can see the initial velocity is a 20 kilometer per hour, while the V means the final velocity is a 0. When in a such a condition, when the initial velocity is more than the final velocity, in that condition we get the retardation acceleration. Now let's move further for the next topic, that is of graphical representation of the equation, and it is a most important of this chapter. Many times this question asks that write down or derive the equation of the distance per graph, velocity per time graph, or third that is of uniform and the non-uniform. According to that we have to derive the equation. So for the derive equation, first of all we have to understand the graphical representation of the equation. So let's see the first one, that is of a distance versus time graph. Here the distance that is denoted by the s and the time which is denoted by the t. S divided by t graph for uniform motion. Here you can see at the y-axis we are taken a distance and the x-axis we are taken a time. So if in the uniform motion means the regular interval of the time, the total distance is covered by the object is the same. So in that condition, or in such a condition, we get this straight line. Means this straight line represent that the uniform speed unit zero acceleration. Here you can see it's S1, S2. That indicates that at the T1 time, the body it covered the S1 distance, whereas at T2 time it covered the S2 distance. So for that, if we want to count the velocity of particular object, then V is equal to S2 minus S1 divided by T1 minus T2. These things we can calculate by the draw the perpendicular line from the x-axis and the y-axis. So by which we can get the distance traveled during the t time. Now let's see the next graphical. Before that, one more time we will revise it. The graphical representation of the equation. The first one, that is of distance versus time graph. Distance is denoted by the s and the time which is denoted by the t. So let's see. Here you can see the first graph that represents the uniform motion. Why we came to know that it is a uniform motion? Because in this graph we get this straight line of graph. Why we get this straight line? Because here you can see the regular time interval, the object is moving or object is covered the equal distance. So in such a condition we get this straight line graph, which denoted that the uniform motion is occur. Suppose we have to find out at particular position that after which time the distance cover how many object cover how many distance. So in such a case we can draw the perpendicular line from the graph on the x-axis and the y-axis. Then after we get the s and the t, means the v is equal to s2 minus s1 and divided by t1 minus t2. Now let's see the second graph. It's a distance versus graph for the non-uniform motion. The first graph that we see, it is for the uniform motion when the regular interval of time is there and the distance covered by the object is the same. At that time, we get this straight line. So we consider it as a uniform motion. Now the second one, that is of the non-uniform motion. If the body is doing the non-uniform motion, means the regular time interval, the body is cover the irregular distance. So in that case, this kind of graph is used. So first graph, that is of, you can see here the increase the slope is there. which is indicate that the accelerated motion is there. Accelerated non-uniform motion is there because uh, if they increase the time, the distance covered by the object is also increased. So this kind of non-uniform motion we consider as a accelerated motion. Whereas in the second graph, you can see the continuous decreasing in slope. You can see inside the slope is bend. So in such a condition, we can say that during the time, the distance covered by the object, it's become a decreased one. So that kind of graph we consider as a continuous decreasing in slope of a curve indicate that the deaccelerated non-uniform motion is occur. Let's one more time revise. S S by T means the distance versus time graph for the non-uniform motion. In such a condition, we get the two kinds of graph. One is the accelerated graph, and the another one that is of deaccelerated graph. In such a condition, when the increase in time, the velocity of the object is also increased. So in such a condition, we get this kind of graph, means the continuous increasing slope of the curve, which indicate the accelerated non-uniform motion. Whereas if we get the decrease in slope, that indicates that after the time, or else after the time interval, some of the time interval, the velocity of the object it's become a decrease. So in such a case, we get the continuous decrease in slope of the curve indicates the deaccelerated non-uniform motion. The next one, that is of ST graph, means the distance versus time graph for a body at the rest. In a such a condition, when the body is in rest condition, or you can say in the stop condition, there is a no net movement is occur, or body is in a rest condition. So in that such a condition, we get this kind of graph, because here you can see that after the t time, the body is cover the same distance. That means it does not move. It is a keep their position at same point only. So in such a case, we get this kind of parallel graph. It indicates that the body is at a rest condition. How can we know that the body is in rest condition? If we are getting this kind of parallel graph, means straight line graph, in such a condition, we can consider that the body is at a rest. So for the counting of this velocity, how can we count from the graph? Simple, we can draw the perpendicular line from the x-axis from the S1 to T1 and S2 to T2. So we get the final velocity, means the V is equal to S2 minus S1 divided by T2 minus T1. If we consider that, then the S2 minus S1 is equal to 0. There is no distance traveled by the object. So the 0 divided by T2 minus T1. So V is equal to 0, means the velocity is also become a 0. Let's see the one more time. S by T graph for a body at the rest. How can we know that the body is at the rest? Because here the distance covered by the body per unit time is a 0. There is no movement is occur in the body. In such a case, we get this kind of graph. Here linear means it is a parallel to the x-axis, because here the no distance is covered by the object after during some time. In such a case, if we want to count the velocity, then V is equal to S2 minus S1. How can we count? Just draw the perpendicular line to the x-axis. So we get the velocity in that final distance which is covered by the body S2 minus the initial one, means the SV, and time taken means the T2 minus T1. But here you can see from the graph that S2 minus S1 means the total distance covered by the object, that is of 0. So in such a condition, and divided by T2 minus T1. So in such a condition, we get the V is equal to 0. If we are getting V is equal to 0, that means the body is at the rest. Thank you.